Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten and I have another Trump related reading for you today. This reading is a little late. I should have done it earlier. It's about who wrote the op-ed article and why they wrote it and where this is, what outcome this might be for or lead to for Trump. So that's the theme of this reading. Before we get started, please hit the like button. If 1,000 of you watch the video, 1,000 of you can hit that like button. It's really easy and it's free, and I'd appreciate it so much. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share my videos with your friends. And if you'd like to donate or support the channel, there's a donate button on the homepage. Please join me on Patreon, become a member, and you can show your support that way. And I appreciate you all, everyone who has become a Patreon member and supported the channel. Thank you. All right, so that being said, one more note. I'm taking some time off. I'm going to be visiting family for the next 5 days or so. So I may go quiet, but I'm still around. So make sure to keep an eye out and hit that notification bell if you want to be informed when I put up new readings. All right, now let's begin. The question is, who wrote the op-ed? That's the big question, right? Who wrote this op-ed article, and why, and where is this headed for Trump? So I got, I kind of confirm, I like to clarify myself and confirm myself over and over again. So I got a lot of cards saying the same thing. My first reading is here, but I confirmed it here today, earlier as well. So let's do the 3 cards. We got Page of Cups. I'm using the 12 Chairs Tarot deck. Page of Cups, which has 2 people in it instead of 1. The Temperance card, which is reversed. And the 9 of Swords. So this is just like breaking it down as the whole reading, just breaking it down in 3 cards. So you got the Page of Cups up. This person may be a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. This person had some strong feelings that they wanted to express. And their message may have come as a surprise. It came as a surprise to everyone, really. It wasn't expected. The Page of Cups can be a surprise. And it created a really strong emotional response in Trump. I feel like this person, which may have been more than 1 person, could have been 2 people. And then in my other reading, the first reading I did, you'll have to forgive me. Sometimes I use advanced cards, but there are times when I want to go back to the Rider-Waite deck. So these are the same 2 cards, 2 of Wands, right? But I felt like I like the imagery in both cards, so I wanted to show them both. So I feel like there may have been 2 or more people, right, involved in this op-ed, at least in charge of it, because in this 2 of Wands can mean a partnership. In this 2 of Wands, there's 2, but there's also several more. There's 5. And I read with the pictures on the cards as well as the meaning of the card. So I feel like there may have been 2 or more people, possibly a group of 5, with 2 leaders at the helm. And it's ironic that the Page of Cups here has 2 people in it, because I feel like it is definitely two strong individuals, but there might be a group of 5, okay? So, but we'll refer to it as 1 person, but you know that it could be 2 people acting as 1, and they're representing more than 1. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I feel like this person or this group of people wanted to incense Trump and bring out into clear evidence and view his crazy behavior. This is someone who's very nervous. This is someone who needs balance. When it's reversed, they're really, 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 really whacked out. I mean, person has no balance. And that's what they feel Trump is. He's out of control and unbalanced to the point of, he's not mixing his meds right, Not to be funny, but... And they wanted to express to us what they've been experiencing behind closed doors. They want us to be aware of that. That he, in their opinion, is incompetent, an immature child, which would be the Page of Cups, and he's whack and mentally unfit. This is the Nine of Swords. This is someone who is in their head all the time and full of fears and worries and anxieties. It's a mental anguish card. And then this one is someone who's like not working with all their marbles, So combined, it's a dangerous combination, these two together, the Temperance reverse and the Nine of Swords. So we'll go back to these a little bit later, but let's get into the main part of the reading. Like I said, I got the Two of Wands, and to me, that made me think it might be two or more people. Maybe even... Yeah. Maybe even 5. With 2 leaders at the helm, okay? And I think it may be a man and a woman, because they're drawing my attention. And there is a man and a woman in this card. But I could be wrong. It could be 2 men. Now I'm hedging my bets on that one. I'll admit it. I'll admit that. The Two of Wands, in the meaning of the tarot, someone has a decision to make, and they're waiting to make a decision, and they're trying to formulate the best plan forward, right, for the future, for the world. And they have the power. They have the power to make this decision, not only for themselves but for the good of the country. I think they feel like they have that power. So they're waiting on. They're considering something right now. I got a clarifier. The Il Pensiero, which is someone who's in deep thought, taking consideration. We have paper here. This paper in this particular card always makes me think of the Constitution. This could also be the article, the op-ed article. So this person is deciding maybe whether or not to write another article. This person is deciding maybe whether or not to step forward and come out of the shadows. We have next to that card the High Priestess, which is my Jane Doe card. The High Priestess is invisible energy. So that would be your anonymous card, someone who doesn't want to reveal their name. So they may be deciding whether or not they want to step out of the shadows and reveal themselves. There's some hesitancy. Okay, they're nervous themselves, or afraid to do this. Now, this card is also a card of planning. Planning and making plans. This is for me, this is kind of a militant card, a campaigning card, that they're making plans about how they're going to go forward, right? In this depiction of the Two of Wands. So, there's planning and there's waiting. And I don't know if you guys remember my last 3 or 4 readings. I have said, and you guys should always look back at my readings because I put a lot of information in those readings, and it's information that's important and it comes to pass. I said in the last 3 or 4 readings that there's plots and schemes around this president. There's plots and schemes, and I believe in I can't remember the name of the reading, but in the last 3 or 4, I know I said that there are some in his party who are meeting secretly behind his back. Okay, here you go. This is it. It's coming true. It's come true. So I feel like with Il Pensiero, this person is definitely considering their next move, which, like I said, could be to reveal themselves to the world, to come out of the shadows, to identify themselves or everyone in their group, or maybe just themselves to save the others, maybe to save the others. Either that, or they may be considering revealing a secret, more secrets about the desperate man, which would be Trump. Because they feel that Trump is desperate right now. And that's why they wrote the op-ed. They know that he's desperate and he will do anything. He will lean on anything to hold on, to hang on to power, to not slip into the abyss. And they know he's a whack job. They know he's whack job crazy. And they're very nervous. They're very nervous about what he might do because they feel the clock is ticking and that time has run out. And it's just too dangerous right now not to do something. So if it's that dangerous, then why continue to be anonymous, you know? And I think that's because they're afraid of being separated from their job, separated from the worst case scenario. The Nine of Swords can mean the worst case scenario, that you're just dwelling on that constantly. And they are afraid of being unable to help in the worst case scenario, not being available to help should we get in the worst case scenario, right? And this keeps them up at night. This keeps them up at night. I just want to show you the traditional Nine of Swords. This keeps them up at night. You know, it weighs on them heavily. So that's both of these are Nine of Swords. Okay? So, I feel like the two or the group discussed the Constitution, the 25th Amendment. They discussed this in secret, the High Priestess. But there was some kind of disappointment with the Three of Swords. Sadness, disappointment, okay? Maybe they weren't able to come to enough of an agreement to be able to invoke the 25th Amendment. So, and then maybe some of them thought that, okay, the traditional Page of Cups, I want to show you the traditional Page of Cups, is someone who's young and naive and who's immature. Maybe they thought that he would grow into the position, he would develop more into the position. The ones who didn't come to an agreement. So they didn't have enough strength to do this on their own. Now let's go back to the main question. Who wrote the op-ed? So I'm sure I said in a past reading that there was a man, a military man, possibly a general or a high official, who was there in between Trump and anything stupid Trump might do. I know I said this about 3 or 5 videos ago, and that I felt it might be a general. But, you know, you have to be open. It was someone who had a high position. But again, today, I get the military card in the tarot deck. This would be my military card. The Chariot, okay? I didn't feel like this Chariot really depicted the power of the military, so I wanted to pull this one out, even though I used the 12 Chairs Tarot when I shuffled, okay? So that's just a little background of why I've got two different decks showing the same card. But This in this reading too, I'm getting that this person may be a military man, possibly a general, or again, this could be a high official, someone who's high up in office, and and then I kind of got the impression this is someone who's a chief. This is someone who's a chief in charge, right? Because I did a further clarifier and I got the high priest. High priest is like the chief officer, the head of the law enforcement team, you know. And then looking at this Two of Wands, he's got staffs. He's holding on to a staff. So it could be a chief of staff. It could be John Kelly. I hate to say it might be John Kelly because I don't think John Kelly's any kind of hero. I think John Kelly is just nothing but the lowest kind of bigot and the worst kind of bigot. And I think he's very ego-driven. And I do think that this person, this op-ed person, or whoever they represent, I think they are ego-driven. I think they are power-driven, okay? I think that they could be the power behind the scenes, or maybe wanted to be the power behind the scenes. So you can't rule out Kelly, but and there's other people who might fit that bill. Maybe General Mattis, or maybe even Dan Coates, or Pompeo. Excuse me. So I can't rule any of them out here because I feel like they all have potential to be the one. But again, I do think that it's a group of 5 with 2 at the helm. Okay? And with the high priest, you see how he's shielding us from the desperate man. They're trying to protect us from the desperate man, which is Trump, and they're pointing at the Chariot. They're pointing at this could be who it is. They're pointing at, and this could also be a Cancer sign. And I said it might be a water sign person, and Chariot represents a Cancer, zodiac Cancer. But they're pointing at the seat of power. They're pointing at the presidency. They're pointing at the one who controls forward movement, momentum, and the military. All right. Someone interrupted me, and I've lost I got out of my little zone. So give me a minute to just kind of zone back into the cards. Sorry about that. I feel like this person is trying to shield us, or persons is trying to shield or protect us from the president, and they're trying to control his military moves or militant plans. Okay? Secretly, they're doing this. High Priestess. So who it is? Who is it? Who is this person? They could be, like I said, a leader, a chief, a general, or it could even be a leader of intelligence. This is a very intelligent man. So this could be someone who is a leader of intelligent enforcement, like the CIA. It could be Pompeo. There's more than one at the helm. There's 2 at the helm. So I wouldn't rule out either generals and Pompeo. I feel like definitely it's calling Pompeo out. That's what I'm feeling. This is someone who's in charge of intelligent enforcement. So that would be CIA, right? Something like that, or FBI. And they're on his staff. They're on his staff. They're on his team. Okay. That's the best I can do, guys. That's the best I can narrow it down. I think it is a group of 5. One of them may be a woman. Okay. So, that's the best I can do as far as who it is until they want to come out of the shadows. Sometimes secrets aren't allowed. The cards don't allow you to unveil secrets. When the High Priestess shows up, she's keeping her secrets until and people have that right. They have a right, and they can shield themselves from being found out psychically. So there you go. We're just getting some little clues. I guess Dan Coates could be, he's head of national intelligence, right? Could be Coates, not Pompeo. I feel like this person is very smart, very intelligent. They may have a law degree, or a career in law enforcement or something like that, or military. All right? And I can't help but really feel that I strongly got Chief of Staff here with these two cards. All right? But I think it's two men. But I see this woman here. I don't know who that woman is. Well, have I confused you enough? I'm doing my best. All right. What's next? So why do they keep this secret? If they know that Trump is a whack job, if they know he's all kind of crazy, then why keep this secret, you know? For so long. And I think it's because they thought that they could control him. And also it was all about their own sense of power to make decisions, to be that power behind the scenes, behind the man. Okay? So they were driven by their own ego, their own lust for power. And they're guilty of that. And like Obama said in his recent speech, which was a breath of fresh air, it's like it made me remember when there was sanity in the White House and dignity and honor, and I felt proud to be an American when he spoke recently. It was such a breath of fresh air. And Obama said that these people who claim to be protecting us, they're not our elected leaders. This isn't how our government should work. And it's not. So they need to do the right thing and show themselves and make people aware why exactly Trump is not fit for office, because they don't feel he's fit for office, so he shouldn't be in office. But it's not up to them to run this country, because that's not how our country works. We elect our leaders. Okay? So right there, I think they know that they're wrong, and so they may have some cold feet about revealing themselves, but they're thinking about it. How is this going to affect Trump? We got the Three of Swords, clarified by Viaggio. So Trump is very sad and hurt, heartbroken. He feels very betrayed, and he doesn't trust anyone now. He's obsessed with his Nine of Swords. He's obsessed. Where'd my original Nine of Swords go? He can't get out of his head. Can't stop thinking about who it is, right? And he wants to kill this person. Like stand them up against a wall and shoot him dead. He thinks it's a man. With Viaggio, I feel like Trump is visiting. He's visiting people, and he's trying to, I believe, use his psychic sense, his psychic abilities to feel out who it is who betrayed him. That's what I think he's doing. With Viaggio, he's visiting people individually, and he's using his psychic energy, his psychic ability to feel out who betrayed him. And he, as a result of this paranoia, is going to start revealing more of his true nature that he hides behind closed doors. He's going to start revealing more of his paranoia, more of his crazy. Because this is someone who's changing. This is someone who's changing. So he'll be changing before our very eyes, turning into this desperate man. And I feel like he will be threatening to prosecute with all of his presidential power the one who betrayed him. And he's already doing that. Like I said, he would, if he could kill them, he would kill them like a firing squad. Next we have the, where does this all end up? What's the outcome? In terms of Trump's outcome, you know, because of this, we have the Five of Swords. In this deck, it's like someone who's leaving a trail of crumbs, right? And it's a manipulative tactic. They know that the enemy can't resist and will come out for those crumbs, right? Or there's links that lead to the culprit. So he's trying to find these links that will lead to the culprit, all right? He's being cunning, he's being crafty, and he may be leaving crumbs, saying things, and whoever repeats these things, you know, that's the culprit. You know, he's getting like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't trust anybody. He's looking over his shoulder all the time. He doesn't trust anybody. So like I said, he's showing more and more signs of deep paranoia. And he's going to be on a rampage to find out who his enemies are. He's going to be further isolating himself and America. But mainly we're talking about Trump, like as an individual. He's going to be further isolating himself because he doesn't trust anyone. And when he finds out the truth, I feel like, if he should find out the truth, I feel like he's going to feel deeply betrayed. I think that one of them he didn't expect. Like, he suspects everybody. But I think the one that where he finds out one of the group, he didn't suspect, and that will really hurt him with the Three of Swords. He'll feel deeply betrayed. And because he trusted that person. His enemies list is, see how she's got a list or a note? His enemies list is getting longer and longer and longer. And he's vowing vengeance on every single one of them. And like I said, he's leaving trails for them and trying to trick them into revealing themselves. He's going to become much more controlling. The old lady clarifies the Five of Swords. The old lady, upright as a wealthy patron. Reverse, she's just a prejudiced old bitch. And she's got old ways, old-fashioned ways of thinking, outmoded ways of thinking. She's intolerant. She's bigoted, like I said. She's nasty. She's controlling. And that's how Trump is going to become. He's going to become more like the old lady reverse. He's not going to be taking advice because he doesn't trust anyone. He's going to be isolating himself in America further and further. He's going to become even more nasty and mean, showing less and less tolerance, and becoming extremely paranoid for us all to see. And he will be trying to control everything because he doesn't trust anyone to take control out of his hands. So, becoming miserly, you know, with power. So as an ultimate outcome, though, and I'm not sure how long down the road this is, but as an ultimate outcome, this card says that due to his failures, his inability to lead, to produce, to fulfill his duties, that he will end up separated from the country and from family, from his position of power. But before that happens, he's only going to get worse, becoming even more divisive and vindictive. So that's my reading about who wrote the op-ed, why, and where it's headed. Hope that you enjoyed it. Again, remember, I'm going to take some time off, but don't forget about me. Don't leave me. I'll be back. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hitting that like button. Blessings.